Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 10 a.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now we've got news out of Pitt County where a third person has been arrested in connection to the home invasion that occurred off of Fire Tower Road last Wednesday. Now here are the three that are in custody. Yesterday, 22-year-old John Calderon, the man in the middle, was arrested. Jonathan Garcia Larios and Zaid Mayan were both arrested on Friday in connection with the Lewis Street home invasion that happened before dawn last Wednesday. Now, deputies say Garcia Larios and Mayan were in the country illegally at the time of their arrest and were both placed on ICE detainers. Now, Calderon of Pitt County is accused of the same charges as the other men, including first-degree burglary, assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill, inflicting serious injury, first-degree kidnapping, and first-degree forcible sex offense. The 20-year-old Garcia Larios, who is homeless, was first booked into the Franklin County Jail and then transferred to Pitt County on Sunday. The 21-year-old Mayan of Chapel Hill was booked into the Orange County Detention Center with no bond. A Pitt County Sheriff's Office investigation report says a victim who was in the home was severely beaten and tied up. Warrants say Garcia Larios, Mayan, and Calderon used an edged weapon to assault the victim. Deputies say evidence from the home invasion was found at an apartment in Chapel Hill. All three are being held without bond. Court documents show Calderon will appear in Pitt County Court today, while the other two men are scheduled for court in March. And now we also want to get the latest from the search for Nancy Guthrie from NBC's Liz Cruz.
More than 2 weeks since Nancy Guthrie went missing, Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos issuing a strong statement Monday, saying none of the Guthrie family members, including siblings and spouses, are suspects, saying the family has been nothing but cooperative and gracious and are victims in this case, adding to suggest otherwise is not only wrong, it is cruel. The Guthrie family are victims, plain and simple. The statement, a direct response to an army of so-called armchair detectives, internet sleuths who have taken an interest in the case and at times made up wild and often inaccurate theories about Nancy's disappearance 17 days ago, some of it fueled by erroneous media reports. Until now, the sheriff has been reluctant to rule out anyone since there's still no suspect. But Nanos tells NBC News he did it because sometimes we forget we're human and we hurt and kindness matters. I'm not going to sit in silence when others are attacking the innocent. And the sheriff telling KOLD 13 family members were ruled out as suspects in the first few days. We're also learning more about the array of tactics investigators have been using, including trying to track down Nancy through her pacemaker, according to the sheriff, and canvassing local gun stores, according to a federal law enforcement official. Another outstanding question, that glove found 2 miles from Nancy Guthrie's home that the FBI says contains unknown male DNA. While a person familiar with the matter says the glove is consistent with the one seen on the suspect in the surveillance video, forensic experts are increasingly skeptical.
Is this glove the aha moment that some people might be making it out to be?
Well, in my opinion, it's not, because it's really too far from the crime scene. I think my biggest question is, have they found DNA from an unknown male inside that house?
DNA was found on the property that, according to the sheriff's office, is not Nancy's or someone close to her. The sheriff tells us investigators are still working to determine who it belongs to.
And again, that was Liz Cruz reporting. We now turn to your weather forecast, and right now across eastern North Carolina, we are dealing with quite a bit of fog outside right now. That fog is going to be sticking around for a little bit longer. Again, we are anticipating a lot of that fog to clear out as we head towards 11 a.m. Right now, we've got 10:04 on the clock, and here's what our visible satellite shows. The longer we stay under this cloud cover, the cooler we're going to stay today. I know we had hopes and dreams of making it into the low 60s, but if this fog lingers too long, we may end up in the upper 50s instead of the low 60s. But here's a zoomed in look at exactly what that where that fog is. You can tell most of eastern North Carolina right now stuck under that plume of gray. Now, as far as dense fog advisory, this was in effect until 9 a.m. It has since been lifted. Here's a look at our Moorhead City Cam overlooking the Sanitary Restaurant. 40-degree air temperature right now. Is starting to again see better visibility. You can see the bridge off in the distance there. That is encouraging news. 40 degrees will turn likely into the low 60s coming up later on this afternoon along the coast. But in Greenville, still looking at foggy weather. 37 degrees in Greenville. West-southwest of the breeze at 6 miles an hour. Not quite strong enough to get that fog out of here. And your dew points, 37 degrees, matching up with your air temperature, and that generally leads us to some thick fog. And right now, again, we are seeing numbers increase, which is good news. We've got 1 mile visibility in Rocky Mount, Goldsboro, along with Kinston and Elizabeth City. Right now, Washington down to half-mile visibility. That's one of the worst visibility readings we have currently in eastern North Carolina. But again, things are improving. We'll continue to see that fog burn off as, again, we head towards 11 a.m. and winds out of the southwest will help carry our air temperatures into the, I would say, low 60s today. If we again can get clear by the time we reach around 11:30, we still have a pretty good shot of seeing the low 60s coming up this afternoon because of your winds, because of the southwesterly flow that's going to bring warmer air into eastern North Carolina. Do want to say good morning to Elaine Nichols. Thank you so much for joining me over on Facebook. As far as winds tomorrow, it's going to be a windy day. We will start out with around a 6 to 12 mile per hour breeze. Through the middle of the day, sustained wind speeds will range between around 15 to 25 miles an hour. That pushes gusts upwards around 30 to 35 miles an hour. Now, it will be a warm breeze as everything is going to be coming out of the southwest. It's going to, again, catch some of you off guard if you're not ready for it. It is, again, going to be a windy day coming up on Wednesday. Now, Thursday, winds getting a little bit more variable, certainly in terms of direction. But tonight, cloud cover will still be present. We'll see those clouds build over the east as we head towards 5, 6, and 7 p.m. That will leave us with a mild start to tomorrow morning, mid-40s instead of the low 30s that we woke up to earlier today. And that warmer start will lead to a warmer finish. 68 degrees by noon tomorrow, turns into the low 70s tomorrow afternoon. But again, note that southwesterly wind, 15 to 25 miles an hour sustained throughout eastern North Carolina. Now, here's kind of a look at how everything's going to be coming together. We've got that cold front further up towards the northwest that will introduce us to a few raindrops on Thursday, but we'll see more rain show up on Friday thanks to a secondary low pressure system forming on the backside of that cold front, and that will carry more moisture through eastern North Carolina as we wrap up the week. Now, another area of low pressure will form behind that one, and that's going to give us a better chance of rain coming up on Saturday and extending into Sunday. It will knock air temperatures down. Looking at the mid-70s on Friday, upper 60s on Saturday, upper 50s Sunday, and then we're back in the mid to upper 40s by the time we reach next Monday and Tuesday. Quite the change there. Eastern North Carolina weather doing eastern North Carolina weather things. But that's all we have time for today's 10 a.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, have a fantastic Tuesday.